For almost 40 years, Dad and Evelyn were together in this house on Malabu Circle in Lexington, and this house became a significant place for my family and for me. Lexington has always been special to me. It's where I spent Christmas and summer vacations with grandparents, aunts, uncles, and my cousins. But the biggest reason I loved Lexington was because it was where my father was. After 1968, when my parents split, I didn't see Dad but maybe once a year, and less than that when he was stationed in the Philippines. But despite not seeing him that much, Dad's influence on me was profound. It was the best gift he ever gave me, that R.F. Tingle positive, confident, energetic approach to life. I didn't always follow it, but I knew it was there. And I developed a sense of humor much like his. And during a sometimes difficult adolescence, those 2 to 3 week summer visits in Lexington with Dad and Evelyn were so important to me. They were like emotional tune-ups, and they had the side benefit of enhancing my already positive view of Lexington. In later years, my wife and children grew to love Lexington as well. I taught my children about their Kentucky ancestry. Our family has been in the Commonwealth about 225 years. And I taught them about Kentucky history and hoped they would see the link between the two. Most of all, I wanted my children to know their Kentucky family. This is in the backyard of my cousins Vicki and Jean's house. This beautiful home, like the house on Malabu Circle, has that special family aura about it to me. Other family homes in and around Lexington have or had that family feeling as well. Tiverton Way, Old Nassau Road, Berlin Drive, and Colonial Drive. 608 Colonial Drive, my grandparents' house. The city renamed the street Apple Tree Lane in later years, but I still think of it as Colonial Drive. Regardless of the name, it was family central in my eyes. When I was a child, we used to stay here during our visits. My grandmother was an excellent cook. Her fried chicken was better than Colonel Sanders. I can still remember the aroma of country ham and other delicious foods in that tiny house. I can remember my grandfather on the enclosed back porch listening to Cincinnati Reds games. That porch is on the right side of this photograph. And I remember that unique second-story bedroom where I stayed. This is the Waits family in 1961. My Aunt Jean, Uncle Tommy, and my cousins Alan and Vicki are at Colonial Drive in this photograph. The fifth member of that family, Scott, wouldn't be born until 2 years later. I've spent a lot of time with my Waits cousins over the years, especially Alan. In fact, I regard Alan as a big brother. The home on Colonial Drive was a place of warmth, family, good food, love, and memories, thanks mostly to my grandmother Alka, who brought those attributes with her from the mountains of eastern Kentucky. No one represented all that is good about family more than my grandmother. My grandmother died way too young, and one of my greatest regrets is that my wife and children never met her. My grandmother died in 1967, my grandfather in 1986, and the house on Colonial Drive passed to strangers. Dad and Evelyn moved into 3432 Malabu Circle in 1977 and started improving the house immediately. Over the years, they added features like window treatments, added an enclosed sunroom, shown here, and transformed the unimproved basement into a bar and family room. A great combination. Dad and Evelyn removed tons of dirt from under a portion of the house, allowing Dad to build a workshop in the cleared-out area. More about that workshop later. Dad did almost all the improvements in that house himself, including the impressive conversion of that basement where this photo was taken in the 1980s. That's my Aunt Jean and Uncle Tommy again, along with cousins Alan and Scotty. The baby Alan is holding on his knee is my daughter Kathleen, who is now 36. Dad's work is in every room of this house. The house is a reflection of him. To Kathleen, Elizabeth, and Will, this house has been their grandparents' house all their lives. Over the years, at least to my wife, my children, and me, the house on Malabu Circle evolved into the new family central. Significantly, Evelyn's mother, Clara, spent her final years here, including her final moments. She suffered from Alzheimer's, and Dad and Evelyn took Clara in and provided care and love. Dad said Clara died peacefully in her sleep, and I like to think she had some awareness she died in a special place of love and comfort. In addition to our family visits, each child got to spend time here without their siblings or Kim or me. And Will lived here a few years while attending UK. Dad is going to give a brief tour of the backyard, introduce us to his mulch pit, and then sing a little bit.
That's my compost pile right there, Terry, over in the corner. I keep forgetting to talk on this stuff. Here's the brick slab 16 by 16s I put up all the way up to the back of the door, side door. Should put them all up in there. It's a lot nicer now, and I put in some flowers right over here in this little area, right here. Damn, this is making me dizzy. Dizzy, I'm dizzy. They'll be coming out after a while.
Grandpa's workshop in the basement. I think this is my children's favorite place in the Malabu Circle home. Why don't you show me what you're doing?
We're painting.
What are you painting?
Pictures. Hi. These things, I think, are
Well, I know you're painting pictures. Would you show me some of the pictures?
No. No. Wadded.
You can come up and look if you like.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just throwing some paint on. A work of art by a natural artiste.
William,
What?
how old are you?
4.
Elizabeth, how old are you?
11.
Kathleen, how old are you?
14. No, 16.
Look at the camera.
I'm 20. 14.
How old are you? Look at me.
I mean 20. I mean 16.
Elizabeth, look at the camera.
I'm 20. I'm 11.
I'm 4.
Really? Alright.
Right there.
We need another one. What's the next one?
That goes all the way through. That hole's too big. Boy, we're having a hard time, aren't we?
Yeah.
Huh? We having a hard time?
Yeah.
See what he did on the saw? I mean on the, over here on the sander, he did that himself.
Wow,
Yeah, his mother wouldn't care, would she? Huh?
that's great, William.
So William, yeah, did that. Well, we're putting on wheels now. See, we made some wheels. We made some wheels out of a dowel. What do we do with the dowel anyway? Here's the dowel. See, we cut our wheels out of this piece, didn't we? Show your dad. Tell him we cut wheels off of that.
We got wheels off of this.
See, we cut little chunks off, these little wheels.
Yeah.
Now we got to get the wheels on there, but we got to get the nails to go in there.
Yeah.
And everything's too little.
Yeah,
Let's go. Well, they're too little. Here,
I'm
let's get some more. Just more nails. So, looks like we're gonna have to go on this here and cut it off. Looks like we're going to cut it off. See, we're gonna cut the nail. See, that'll work. We're gonna have to cut it off, right like that. You know, right there. Okay. So we'll cut that off right there. Okay, let's see how we do now. Let's see if we can make it go in there. Here. That's a front one. We got. Should have had a washer in there, but that's an awful little hole in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stop that, William.
What's this?
What's what? It is a belt sander.
Belt sander. Give me your finger. I'll show you how it feels.
No, William. He's joking.
Oh.
Not on, William. Come here. I want to show you something, William. Come right here. And to shut your eyes. And don't look. Whatever you do, don't look.
Oh, he's got a brush.
Don't look.
Don't look. Don't look.
Very funny, Grandpa.
Don't look.
This is what you do for Grandpa. That's your...
Dad was not only an expert at woodworking, building, and practical jokes, he knew a thing or two about brownies.
Because,
Everything came out okay, but brownies are, this pan of brownies is good. The ones with walnuts, this is without walnuts, the ones with walnuts is a little harder because we baked them 5 minutes more because there was 2 pans in there. I was told that by some professional. Well, it's a little harder than I like them, but tomorrow they'll be even harder, and I can't explain this to people. They don't understand.
Al here. Zoom in on Big Al. That's nice. That's a good picture.
It's like Tang.
We had another one.
Say Ting, this is Alan, Barbara, and Gene, Farmer Gene. Main man. If he can get some help out of Vicky, he'll have him made.
Family gatherings were the highlight of each of our visits. Evelyn and Dad hosted family get-togethers frequently through the years and made a point of hosting at least one whenever we
You get a
visited.
brand new dress, Vicky? I got the whole thing with the mustard. Let me get the mustard, Vicky.
Mustard? No, I didn't get it, I don't think.
I remember I used to knock over my milk. Oh, Vicky did that. Cringe, because Dad was so mad. Well, he thought he got rid of it with Vicky.
Well, Vicky spilled her milk all the
I
time.
never once sat beside her because I always knew I was going to get wet.
It's like alcohol.
You got lemon bars in there,
Exactly,
too.
probably, I would say.
My name is Vicki. Ate a brownie yesterday. Is that
No,
what you did?
no, we don't do that, but did you lose any weight? No.
Big guys.
You tell 'em.
two big fellas here. One taking the picture, another one on the
The
left.
head's too big to fit in the frame.
Big guy. Big guy. All right, back it up, baby. Back it up.
What are y'all doing there? Good leg. Ooh!
Oh, hey, baby.
Look at that.
Those legs on
Got
those
that
guys.
shot
Hey,
there.
all right. I shaved my legs and he didn't.
Scott shaves his chest and his arms and everything. Not anymore. Oh. Big M won't allow him to do it.
Well, I try to be comfortable. Would you like me to give you a little talk?
Well, you do that, you know, enough, but if you'd like.
Well, today is the 22nd?
23rd.
23rd. I'm a day off. So what? It's
Day off.
You got to get a picture of Barbara's jag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barbara's jag.
Hello.
Hello. Do you ever get in it?
I drove it.
That's cute. Wait, what?
He moved again.
You want to move every time before the flash goes off. Yes, yes.
Like Terry did.
Sure does.
Hi, Scott. Note how loving and low-key my daughters are. What's that, Kathleen?
None of your business.
Well.
Thank you. Dad.
Oh, William.
William.
I'm not trying to stop it.
Well, at least you're
Mom. Yeah, let's do this new big. No. Don't even try it.
Here, let's get a picture with Daddy. Oh, look! Look at William's belly.
Don't touch me. Don't touch my knees. Hey. Hi. What? My impression, Kathleen. Don't touch me or my stuff.
Kathleen and Elizabeth were the definition of goodwill and mutual respect when together.
It's different than anybody's.
Yours is the one that shoots off with you going with it.
William. Get away. When it flies. Get away, William. When it flies, then you know.
You want another one?
Here, William, let me light it.
Kathleen,
William, here you go. Let me light it for you.
Kathleen, do you want to see what lime green fire looks like?
I don't know if you caught that. Kathleen is wearing a lime green blouse, and Elizabeth asked Kathleen if she'd like to see what a lime green fire looked like. Can you wave it around, William?
Wave it around. Look at Daddy.
Wave it around.
Yeah.
Wave it around a little bit, William. You can.
There you
Some
go.
people thought Kim and I were overly protective of our
Don't
children.
now.
Some people felt
William,
differently.
go like this.
There you go.
Neat. Look at all the sparks, man. Wow.
Those look like fireflies.
What he said?
They look like fireflies.
Yeah.
That's what I thought he said.
There aren't many family members left in
You're okay,
Lexington
you're okay.
anymore. The family gatherings of today are a lot smaller than the gatherings of the past. The 8 to 12 children farm families of the old days in our family are long gone.
There it goes, I think.
Hey, if you wave it around, Kathleen, it starts sparking more.
Hey, Grandpa.
William's did.
Wait, it's the way I'm like this, wait,
Next
it's-
Kathleen.
yeah. Hey, you, William? No. Don't blow it on me. Blow it now. Blow it.
Hello, Terry. Why don't you have a firework?
Ting Meister.
Thank you, Grandpa.
Yeah, we were thinking about you.
Hi, Dad.
Are you doing okay? Oh, good. Her arm, she can only ride. Yeah. I'm eating junk.
That's wonderful. How long is this supposed to last?
Alan's going to do an impression of our grandfather Lloyd.
Okay. So,
let's change you. That's some money we're going to spend on our trip.
Hello, California. Going back to Cali.
Hello, Terry.
Cali.
Hello,
Cali.
Kim.
All these family gatherings honor my grandmother Alka. She was very strong. She dealt with some difficult situations very well. But Grandma Alka was also very loving, comforting, and tender, especially with her grandchildren. She was an outstanding person, totally committed to family. I believe her strength and love influence us today. Whenever we have a family gathering, we're following her example and her wishes.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Barb hadn't seen the card, so.
What's that?
Yours?
It's a pretty cute card.
Must have been on bed and
Oh, it is. It is. My first.
Watch out now, boy.
when I bought the card, the girl goes, "You guys crack me up." And I said, "Well, that's," she said, "You come in, you're out, you got the card, you're gone." She said, "Us women, we come in, it takes us
We read
half
every
an
one.
hour."
We read every one.
Hey, you gotta
this?
feel the buzz.
And laughing to myself, you know.
Oh, I saw several, but
That's on.
I thought that was pretty good.
Oh, cool.
That's on.
You moving the card around while I hold the pen.
Which one of them next?
Hey, California, Elizabeth and
Kathleen.
Kathleen.
I haven't heard
And
of that.
Nanny, we have to tell Nanny. Oh, and her, I fell
Two cards here.
up the steps.
Really? Nikki, you're trying to kill yourself.
Oh, there's a cat with
She hurt her knee.
the odor coming out. No, those are rivets hanging down. Live in the present and have a happy birthday. Terry, Kim, William, Kathleen, and Elizabeth.
Dad died in 2016. In 2019, Evelyn sold the house and moved into assisted living. And our family's time at the house on Malabu Circle was gone. The house with all those memories, that safe family home, the place where I could see my dad's handiwork in every room, and the last house in which my dad lived. I'm fairly certain I'll never set foot in that house again, but I figured that as long as I have imagination in my memories, I can visit whenever I want. Hi, Dad.
Hi, T. Planning a trip tomorrow. Going to Bardstown. My old Kentucky home, then we're going down from Bardstown where I get 31 East to Abraham Lincoln's birthplace in Hodgesville. Then we'll come back and go to Lincoln Homestead Park. And I'll show you the golf course there. Yes, that's what we'll do, T. All arranged with a great tour leader.
Terry, Kim, William, Kathleen, and Liz.
Oh.
That's an awful little hole.